Forse non sapete se vi piacciono le barche.
Maybe you don't know if you like boats. Maybe you don't know which one to choose. And if you have any doubts, it's probably best to get involved in an open day organised by the boatyards where you can try out all the different models. These are the MARLIN 540 and 630, both of which go fast with only 40 horsepower. This one here, though, is little and brutal. Underneath here, there's a 130 horsepower engine. The MARLIN 20 has all the elegance and speed that a 6.5 metre dinghy can have. The MARLIN 23 is 8 metres long and has a place to change under the console, which stretches it a little to almost match the MARLIN 26's 9 metres. And last but not least, the flagship, large, comfortable, with sun areas that become overnight cabins and 700 horsepower at the stern. MARLIN has a such vast series of dinghies that it's difficult to think that they could introduce any more. But they have. The MARLIN 790 belongs to the new Dynamic line, which was created to keep the list price low. But the strength and detail that has gone into its construction shows it comes from MARLIN, which even in lowering costs have not compromised on quality. Length overall is 790 centimetres, but is 699 approved, which means better tax breaks in some countries. And we're going to try it out with this engine, the 225 horsepower Verado. In practice, you can walk around the whole deck from these long swim platforms that run on either side of the outboard. To get on board, you can even take advantage of the decks and roll bar if you need to keep your balance. This step shape makes getting around easier. The couch with the side extensions can accommodate 2 more people than the traditional rectangular benches, and the roller, which serves as the back, can become a comfortable headrest. The cockpit is perfect because the little sofa that backs outwards creates this lovely area where you can chat, eat and play cards. Getting bored? We'll have a change of pace soon, if you can be patient for just a minute. At the bow, the bridge is not very long because they chose to go for the walk-around layout, i.e., which not only means that you can walk around the console, but with just a little addition here, means you can have a much bigger sun deck. For the protection of the passengers, as in the other models, the boatyard has considerably raised the line of the tubes, especially in the bow, so the air chambers assume the function of the walls. Bags, equipment, food can be stored below, at the bow or stern, or even under the sofa in the middle of the cockpit. Under the central keep, however, there is a compartment that can be equipped with electric toilet, sink and showers. While we warm up the engines, let's evaluate the tech spec more.
La prua di questo gommone ha delle sezioni molto strette.
The bow of this boat has some very narrow sections because a boat of this size should be able to navigate comfortably even when conditions aren't great.
A centrobarca è stato disegnato un redan.
The centre of the boat was redan designed and serves to decrease the resistance, but moreover signifies new geometrical plans of the hull. At the stern, in fact, the V is not very pronounced at all, to save horsepower and therefore go faster. The same goes for the tubulars, which have been placed above the waterline, so they don't plough through the surface and therefore don't slow the race down. The dashboard of this boat is very functional because the devices are in vertical, so easily read and not affected by the sun.
Conoscete il progettista di questo mezzo? Si chiama...
Can you recognize the designer? His name is Stephen Selva, and he is so rigorous, so precise that in order to succeed with the design, modelling and construction of this boat, he took as long as it would to produce the 20-metre yacht. But there's nothing wrong with that. With so many boats of this size, it's just as well if they aren't all the same, eh?
No. Quando uno scafo entra in planata...
When a boat starts to plane without lifting up at the bow, the pilot can't really be that happy. But the dynamic 790 Marlin has another positive aspect: low-speed planing at just 10 knots. Holding the bar in the centre, it's going pretty fast, but it's secure and doesn't seem to feel as if it would have any speed limits.
Adesso verifichiamo l'angolo di incidenza dello scafo.
And now I'm going to check the angle of incidence. Trim is all the way down. The hull is in the water from the bow to the stern. This is perfect for heading into waves. But now I'm going to raise the trim. The hull is lifting out of the water and the boat is beginning to go faster because it's away from the surface. Now, at this speed, at full throttle, I'm going to make a bit of a risky manoeuvre. How it sticks to the course is amazing. The lower mileage shows 3,500 revs a minute, and we're going 22.5 knots. With a full tank, which means 300 litres can theoretically go about 260 miles. I did some calculations and have seen that the regression, i.e. the slip, from the propeller drops immediately and is therefore really efficient. At 27 knots, the decline is already less than 10%. With this Verado 225, we can keep up a continuous speed at 4,800 revs a minute, which corresponds to a maximum cruising speed of 34 knots. If you want to find the best performance of the Marlin 790 Dynamic, you need to raise the trim. 90% of the course, 6,100 RPM, 44.5 knots. The shipyard has built this boat with the aim of being able to move even with a not too powerful outboard motor. Our tests with the Verado 225 has highlighted two aspects: a smooth hull that means you can install a 150 horsepower engine, and excellent stability that allows you to mount engines which can also be much more powerful. In short, there is something for all tastes.